We've had, such a long period where we've not been able to get things done in the country. Another poor outcome is another dysfunctional Senate. I mean, what's important here is that we end up with a capacity from our perspective, and I think from the community's perspective, to grow the economy, to grow it faster, to make sure that we've got the capacity to pay for the services people need, and most importantly, we've got the capacity to give people jobs, better paid jobs, give them a chance to get ahead.
By definition, there'd be a hung parliament if there are enough independent voters elected that denied both major parties an absolute majority. There is a big feeling of disenfranchisement out there. A lot of people are disaffected, Jennifer Westacott. Wouldn't a hung parliament be a reflection of people's disgust with both major parties and neither party having what they see as a credible economic plan?
Well, it may well be the case, but of course people have to think about, I guess, their frustration and their kind of, this sense of kind of people not talking about what's important to them. But of course what really is important to people is the capacity that they can get ahead in life, and that their kids can get ahead, and that they can have a good job and a good house, and that they've got good health and they've got good access to services. And that's not going to be achieved by a dysfunctional parliament, and it's not going to be achieved by us not being able to get on with the big reforms that our country needs, making our country more competitive, getting our budget back under control, letting business kind of thrive in a very difficult and volatile world. That is actually what's going to matter to people in terms of what matters for their lives. And yes, people are frustrated, but when I talk to people, they just want people to get on with things. They want a sense that we're going to get ahead. They want a sense that their independence, their aspirations for their families are going to be met, and that is actually going to be through good economic policy and good social policy, and that's really the decision they have to make.
And in fact they'd love the largesse about to be heaped on the business community if the Turnbull government is re-elected in the form of those company tax cuts.
Well, it's not largesse at all. This is responsible, careful, good economic policy. This is a 10-year plan to gradually bring our business taxes in line with the rest of the world, not ahead of the rest of the world, just even at the OECD average, because our business taxes are extremely high. And what does that mean? Well, it means that there are disincentives for companies to invest. There are disincentives for companies to invest in this country. And of course, we know that the burden of that falls to workers. It doesn't fall to people sitting around the directors' boardrooms tables. It falls to the wages and jobs of Australians. And this is a very, very responsible policy, done very responsibly by the government, and we have given a very strong backing to it.
Isn't it also responsible thinking, Jennifer Westacott, about Australia's medium to long-term economic future and economic certainty for more money to be spent, as the Labor Party's promising, on education, to in fact skill up the workforce even more?
Yes, and of course that's very important, but of course what the Labor Party has done is present Australians with this very phony choice that somehow you're either for a stronger business community or you're for education and health. The reality is we have to be for both, because we have to find a way of paying for education and health.